SIGEP is always working to enhance alumni and volunteer support to help our chapters with their mission of building balanced men for the world's communities. The vision is that each chapter will have an Alumni Volunteer Corporation, or AVC, to manage and grow the chapter's assets, and a mentor committee to directly support our undergraduates, particularly those holding key offices. As the mentor to the Vice President of Finance, you support a key player, one who is responsible for all financial aspects of the chapter. Welcome to the role. There are many duties and challenges a Vice President of Finance may encounter only once. You will help him keep those in perspective and to avoid reinventing the wheel every year. You will also make sure that he has the support needed to be successful and provide a frame of reference that is longer term. If your Vice President of Finance is not sure where to start, a good first step is to create an annual budget. Perhaps his predecessor had one that you can simply update. If not, he may need to look at bank statements and speak with the chapter's executive committee to gather the information required. Once you have an annual budget, it is his job to manage, document, and track all income, expenses, and changing needs against those plans via a concise monthly financial report to the AVC. So an annual budget and monthly reports are great places to start. The chapter should be tax exempt with both the IRS and, if required, the state. Like any tax exempt entity, the chapter must maintain that tax exempt status. One crucial requirement the IRS has is to file an annual informational tax return called the Form 990. The IRS will automatically revoke the chapter's tax exempt status if the Vice Presidents of Finance don't file 3 years in a row. So these filings are really important. Many states also have similar informational filing requirements. That means the second early step in examining a copy of last year's tax filings and planning for this year's filing are also a great place to start. Consistent record keeping is crucial. Every Vice President of Finance needs records from his predecessor to file these informational returns. And if the IRS has a question, it will almost always be about something from your VPF's predecessors. Anytime there is money involved, it is important to make sure that the assets are secure. The steps taken to do this shall be documented in annual audits of the chapter. Make sure that everything your Vice President of Finance does is documented and fully transparent. Embezzlement can be very painful to a chapter, so don't let that happen on your watch. The AVC and the Executive Board will look to your Vice President of Finance to be the one who understands the chapter's financial situations. In many cases, the mentor for the undergraduate Vice President of Finance is also the AVC Treasurer, but for now we're just focusing on the mentor role. You and your VPF should review the SIGEP Grand Chapter Administrative Policies and Procedures that relate to the 30-60-day policies related to collections from members. They are important tools to keep the chapter's accounts receivable to a minimum. There is a role for the AVC in helping your Vice President of Finance manage accounts receivable. Please keep a close eye on these. SIGEP has partnered with Greekville to provide financial tools and financial management for your chapter. Greekville is integrated with other SIGEP offerings, such as the Balanced Man Program app and MySIGEP, and can help VPFs be successful and work smarter. For one thing, it can automatically file those tax filings to the IRS, well, for most chapters anyway. If your chapter isn't yet using Greekville, please check it out with your Vice President of Finance. You should also help educate your VPF on the impact on a budget of a successful recruiting and, if housed, filling a house. He is an important voice on the chapter's executive committee, and this is not intuitive to most undergraduates. SIGEP also encourages chapters to implement automatic annual due increments. Small annual increases are much less painful than leaving it until it becomes a crisis and the dues must be raised significantly all at once. Finally, we also encourage chapters to be in the top quartile in dues. To offer the best programming, we cannot be the cheapest fraternity on campus. Besides the AVC Treasurer, the VPF Mentor will also work closely with the Chapter Executive Committee, the AVC Director of Housing if the chapter is housed, and the District Governor, who should be kept in a loop on all the deliverables we've already discussed. The Vice President of Finance is a very important and influential position. Without an annual budget and monthly financial reports, there are sure to be unpleasant surprises. Losing tax-exempt status with the feds or your state isn't fun either, and you won't believe the fines and fees that we have seen. Imagine your Vice President of Finance having to explain to the chapter that the money that they paid for dues was embezzled. On the other hand, a smoothly operating chapter with funds for outstanding programs makes it all worthwhile, and no chapter has ever won a Buchanan Cup without sound financial operations. No, you aren't in this alone. Perhaps other members of your ABC can help if you have questions. Perhaps a predecessor or other vice presidents of finance can help. It's a good reason to keep in touch with them. Perhaps there's an alumnus of your chapter who is a CPA, assuming you aren't already one. And if you do have questions, you're always welcome to reach out to our staff. Or you can reach out to your district governor. For more resources like this video, please consider visiting sigep.org under Volunteer Resources. Thanks for all you do, and thanks for your commitment to Sigma Phi Epsilon.